So apparently this is what the end dimension looks like, and that little dot in the middle is the entire Dragon Island. What the hell? Well, I don't believe it. So today we're gonna become an astronaut and explore these hypothetical rings. And if they are real, I'm gonna be the first person to visit 100 rings in hardcore Minecraft. So step 1, we're gonna need a crazy amount of elytras, because if this is true, we're gonna have to travel millions of blocks. And of course, there's only one place to get elytras. Let's go. There we go, elytra number 1. Bang. Elytra number 2. Okay, this one should be elytra number 4. Alright, that's now 8 elytras. And there we go. With this one added, we now have 16 elytras, which should be enough as long as we turn them into these really OP elytras with Unbreaking 3 and Mending. So for this, we need to head back to the base. And whilst I'm flying, this is the Reddit post that started this entire video idea. Basically, this guy claimed this is what the end dimension actually looks like, with random rings everywhere. Well, I don't know if I believe that, to be honest. So the only way to find out if Obvious Click is telling the truth is to actually go and see these rings for myself. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I just realized I've been flying the wrong way the entire time. That is great. All right, so to get these books, we're going to need a bunch of our emeralds. Then we're also going to need some regular books. Okay, now we need to find our mending guy, which I have no idea which one he is. Frostwalker, Silk Touch. Mending, let's go. So we'll just buy a bunch of these. Okay, we need 3 more mending books, but he's expired. So where is our Unbreaking 3 guy? Yeah, actually, I think I killed my Unbreaking 3 guy. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go through the painful process of getting a new guy. Okay, one of you guys can give me Unbreaking 3, please. Oh, this is going to take a while. Okay, whoever gives me Unbreaking 3 will get to live. The other one will be murdered. So it's up to you guys if you want to give me the trade. I don't mind. These guys really don't want to live. Just give me Unbreaking 3. What the... I actually hope nothing but bad things happens to these guys. At this rate, flying millions of blocks is going to be faster than doing this. What the hell? Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. They don't want me to see the end rings. I'm on to you guys. Does it even exist? Yes! Oh my god, I nearly broke the lectern. Finally! Yes! Give me all of them! There we go! Alright, you're both dying. Yep. You deserve that. Oh, wait, I'm going to have to do that in future again. Let's just forget about that. I'm not lying. That took 25 minutes. Minecraft might actually not want me to discover these end rings, but I need to know if they're real. So let's grab our last few mending books, make our OP elytras, and move on to step 2, which of course is the firework rockets. And if my calculations are correct, we need 410 stacks of the best rockets in the game. Yeah, if these rings aren't real, I'm going to be annoyed. But anyway, I'm just going to go round my world and scavenge because I know I've got rockets pretty much everywhere, like in here, for example. These ones are probably left over from my world border videos. Okay, I've actually managed to scavenge quite a lot of rockets. We've got all of these full. We just need to fill up these ones. First things first, let's grab a bunch of sugarcane and turn this into paper. Okay, now we can head over to our OP gunpowder farm, and hopefully there should be a lot of gunpowder in here. Yes! Okay, so now we should be able to craft the OP rockets. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be enough paper. I really wish we had a sugarcane farm as good as that carrot farm. Wait a second. I don't have a massive sugarcane farm, but I do have this automatic one, but it's broken. If we can somehow get this fixed, it should give us enough sugarcane to get the rockets. Yeah, right now it's really broken. Okay, we'll just grab this stuff. And I think we just need to rebuild this flying machine. All right, so this should be working now. Yes! Let's go! So I spent the next 6 hours AFK in the farm, crafting loads of paper, and reading some of the Reddit post replies. Ironic yet fitting that the final dimension of Minecraft will be full of circles. Looks like J1407B. Whoa, that's sick. How many blocks out does that first gap start? Well, Harani, I'm gonna find out. Alright, so there we go. All of these shulker boxes are now filled with Flight Duration 3 rockets. So that should be more than enough. Which means we can now move on to step 3, the final prep before we leave on our journey. And I think one of the most important things we can bring is definitely an ender chest filled with all of these rockets, just so we have a lot more inventory space. Okay, so we've got pearls, we've got obsidian, and now we just need some blaze powder. Okay, so we can make the Eyes of Ender. And there we go. We've got our Ender chests. Our food is already sorted because we've got golden carrots. But now the next thing we need is probably something you won't be expecting. We need some redstone. And to make it, we also need some iron. So now we should be able to make compasses. There we go. And now if we surround these compasses in paper, we can make a bunch of maps. Because if these end rings do actually exist, I want to capture at least some of them on a map. Okay, that should be all the map stuff we need. Okay, and now the final thing we need before we start our journey is going to be the thing that hopefully enables us to get back without having to fly all the way back. But I'm going to leave this as a big surprise, as I'm not sure it'll even work. Come on, please. So now that our ender chest is fully sorted, we're finally ready to move on to step 4, the actual journey. Oh my god, I'm nervous. All right, here we go. Let's do this. I'm gonna fly straight through here, and we are flying. Let's go. As you can see, we're going in the positive X direction, and we're just going to have to be really smart with our rockets. So it's time to find out if these end rings actually exist, or if obvious click 5542 is lying. I really hope he's not lying. Okay, we've just hit 10,000 blocks. And I'm just looking at the Reddit post. This gap here is meant to start at 370,000 blocks. So, yeah, we've got a long way to go. So I think now is about the time we should start trying to conserve our rockets and fly the most efficient way possible. And to do this, we're going to fly straight up in the air. And I'm just going to press the rocket every time it runs out. And we should be able to get loads and loads of height. And then once we get to about 10,000 blocks, I'll show you the next step of the plan. All right, there we go. We're at 10,000 blocks in the air. So now we just need to switch our pitch forward to 25. And that's like the optimum angle for us to glide down forwards. And we need to make sure our yaw is on -90. So we're like lined up really straight. Okay, there we go. That should do. So now we're gliding at the perfect angle. All we need to keep an eye on is our elytra health. And whilst I'm doing that, guys, make sure to like the video, because if these end rings are real, this will be the first time anyone's been to them in hardcore Minecraft. And we want as many people as possible to see these end rings. Okay, we're about to have to change our elytra out, I think. There we go. Perfect. Okay, here we are. We're pretty much just about to land. We are now at 92,000 blocks. But according to this picture and this guy that says he made it to the first gap, we're only a quarter of the way through this layer. Oh my god. The end is absolutely massive. But whilst we were in the air, I did some calculations and I know the exact amount of heights, rockets, and elytras that we need to make it to the first gap. But before we do it, I just need to repair these elytras. This is why mending is so important. Come on, Enderman. Come to me. Okay, that's all the elytras repaired. Now let's fly 38,000 blocks in the air. Oh, this is going to take a while. And now we can go at that 25-degree angle again. That should do. And if my calculations are correct, we're going to be flying like this for about 2 hours now. But as long as these end rings are real, I'm going to be pretty happy. Let's go! We're 100,000 blocks away from the Dragon Island. That is absolutely mental. Okay, there we are. We're over 200,000 blocks, which is just over halfway through this center disc. Yeah, I really hope these end rings are real and I haven't just flown all this way for nothing. That would be really annoying. So according to the Toaster 0000, we are now very close to the first gap. So I'm going to fly like straight down just because I want to see when it actually starts. Oh my god. There is stuff beneath us. Oh my god, we're still so high. So apparently these end islands are about to stop. I don't know if that's going to happen. I guess we'll find out. Oh my god. If I've flown all this way, I'm going to be really annoyed. Surely it's real. There's no way it could be not real. Any second now, it should happen. Wait. Is that it? But before we find out if that's actually the gap, I've got to shout out the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet for keeping me entertained whilst I've been flying this entire time. This beast has 24 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage loaded up with my favorite games, which I've been able to enjoy on its insane 9-inch OLED display that has a 2.4K resolution, 165Hz refresh rate, and is also super bright, which was really useful when I was gaming in my dark office for hours at a time. And speaking of long gaming sessions, its impressive 8,200 mAh battery kept me locked in whilst I've been flying for hours over the void. But even when it eventually does run out, the goats at Red Magic have told me it charges from 0 to 100% in just over an hour. That's actually so good. And even better, it's running the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip with Red Magic's Red Core R3 Pro, so this thing is crazy powerful. And it stays cool thanks to the enhanced IceX cooling system. Also, it's insanely customizable, allowing you to adjust everything from CPU and GPU speeds to graphic settings and really cool RGB lighting. And all of that makes it the perfect gaming tablet. So make sure to check out the link in the description and get yourself the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet today. Thank you, Red Magic, and now let's see if this gap is actually real. Wait. Is that it? What the hell? Yeah, it's literally just void. It's like a straight line. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's sick. Look at that. What the hell? So this is the edge of that first disc. Oh my god. I've literally played Minecraft for over 12 years and I did not know this existed. How did I not know that? This is crazy. Wait, maybe if we fly far enough this way, we can see it like kind of turn. Oh my god, look, yeah, it turns there. So it's literally going to be in the shape of a ring. That's sick. The end dimension has rings. And we haven't even gone to the first one yet. This is like the center ring. I'm not going to count it as a ring. Okay, here we go. I want to do on maps now. So I'm just going to put ender chest down, get our map stuff out. Just do that. Okay, so we can see the straight line on the map. Now, if we use the cartography table, we can extend the map. So like that. Yes. Let's make it bigger again. Whoa. Okay, that's the biggest you can get it. Okay, now I'm going to fly down the edge of this and try and map out the edge of this ring. And there we go. We've captured the start of the gap on this map. That looks really cool. So we'll keep that in there. And whilst I was flying, I saw this guy's video where he got to the first ring in creative mode at 524,000 blocks. So it's about 150,000 blocks across this gap. So we need to repair these elytras. Gonna fly straight up again, and then we'll get gliding. So we now know obvious click was telling the truth. I don't think that's a picture. I think it's like some kind of render or something. But I'm literally going to be the first person to see these rings in hardcore Minecraft. Oh, that looks so cool from above. Okay, let's get to about 20,000 blocks, and then we'll hopefully glide over this gap. Okay, I think this will be a good point to glide from, so let's angle it 25 degrees, and now we're just casually gliding over a 150,000 block gap in the end. That is kind of scary. Oh my god. Okay, I've been doing some more research, and according to everything online, the first ring should be popping up any second now, and we are severely running out of height, so I hope it does. We've literally been flying over the void for about an hour. It's got to appear soon. Come on. Don't tell me I'm stranded. Let's go! The first ring! Oh my god. This is sick. Whoa. So, all that time flying, and we are now only here on that image. Ow! Oh my god. I want to be killed by an Enderman. What? There's end cities out here. That's sick. That's really cool. We're literally like 500,000 blocks away from the Dragon Island, and there's still end cities. Diamonds? I'll take that. Okay, I think I've decided I'm going to take a screenshot with each ring I visit, so that when we've been to 100, we can look back on them all. We'll keep the quads up. Bang. Screenshot. And now, of course, we'll do our map thing, repair our elytras, and start flying to ring number 2. And thanks to this graph that I got from Ant Venom's video, we can see where each of the rings start, meaning we can just fly up and glide straight from ring to ring. But before we do that, let's just test the graph is actually right. This ring should end at 642,000 blocks. All right, we're coming up at 642,000. Does it stop? Let's go! The graph is right. That is the end of this ring. So we can now trust the graph, and we know the next ring is at 740,000 blocks. So I'll see you when we get there. So as we speak, I'm now flying over this gap here. And I found out by watching some YouTube videos that getting to this second ring is like the furthest anyone's ever been in survival or creative. And we're about to get way past that in hardcore. Okay, here we are, approaching 740,000 blocks out. Come on, ring 2. It's definitely here, right? Yes, there we go. Ring number 2. I'm going to take our second screenshot here. So that's 2 out of the 100 rings completed. And anything after this point is basically unknown as far as YouTube goes. So let's quickly get these elytras repaired. And now I think I'm just going to fly straight to the third ring. So we'll go up to around 20,500 blocks in the air, and then we'll just glide straight there. Also, one crazy thing about this journey so far is when we were at 97,000 blocks traveled, the world size was already like 6 gigabytes, and now it's over 20 gigabytes. Alright, everything's looking good, and I think whilst I'm gliding here, I'm going to look for a space texture pack. Because not going to lie, it kind of feels like I'm exploring space for the very first time. Oh, that looks so cool. It looks like something out of Star Wars. There we go. Ring number 3. Let's take a screenshot. All right, you guys know the process by now. So I'm just going to follow the graph and make some serious progress. Ring number 4. And this is the first ring that is over 1 million blocks from the Dragon Island. Ring 5. Here we are at ring number 6. Lucky ring number 7. Oh, look, that's ring number 8. Wait, this is ring number 9 though. So that means the next one is ring number 10. So we're now officially outside of this picture. And to be fair, it's kind of crazy we just got outside considering we're 1.65 million blocks away from the Dragon Island now. But we've still got 90 more rings to visit. Oh my god. However, after repairing my elytras, I noticed a few things. Do you remember when I said my world size was at 20 gigabytes? Well, now it's at 40. I think we should probably turn our render distance down. I'm going to put it on 12. I've also noticed that the rings are definitely getting closer together. For example, I'm going to have to fly about 80,000 blocks to get to ring 11. There we go, ring 11. And now to get to ring 12, I only had to fly 78,000 blocks. And that's ring 12. Very interesting. I wonder how small the gaps are at ring 100. Well, I was determined to find out. So I dedicated my weekend to exploring Minecraft's version of space. Flying millions of blocks and ticking off ring after ring after ring after ring. Until eventually, we're now at ring 42. And there's an end city right here. But anyways, the gap between rings is now only like 20,000 blocks. So one of these elytras basically lasts us 2 rings. Also, we've only used about 3 shulkers of rockets, so we've got loads left. Pretty much the only thing I'm concerned about is our plan for getting home, as if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to fly 5 million blocks back to the Dragon Island. And I really don't want to have to do that. But anyways, we're now getting to the point where we get to a new ring every 15 minutes or so. And not gonna lie, flying to these rings is getting a little boring, so I've added this mod that enables me to dance. So if I do this, I can literally do a backflip. What the hell? What am I doing? Oh yeah. So yeah, I basically just got this to make the pictures I take a bit more interesting. So let me know which ones are your favorite out of the next 50 rings. Let's do this. This is gonna be fun. Millions of blocks and hours of flight, rocket powered wings but no end in sight. Ring after ring after ring after ring, and I'm starting to think there's no end in this thing. With the dragon slain and the elytras claim, I thought I finally had the end dimension tame. But with this new discovery and my stupid ambition, we're finding all these rings and that's my only mission. Okay, we're now over 5 million blocks away from the Dragon Island. And this is the 90th ring. Oh my god, we've been flying for absolutely ages. This has taken so long. Yeah, I swear to god, my exit method better work. But anyways, now the gap between each end island is only like 14,000 blocks. So doing the last 10 rings should be fairly easy. Come on. So as my 5 million block adventure drew to a close, I could safely say that I had explored the end dimension and that it does indeed have rings. Or at least 100 of them. So finally, here we are, ring 100. Oh my god, I still can't believe the end actually looks like this. Okay, let's do this dance for our final screenshot. Let's go, we did it. But now it's time to see if I'm going to be stranded here, because my exit strategy is going to involve end portal frames. And just so you know, I got these in my illegal items video, so make sure to watch that if you haven't already. But hopefully this should work. Okay, so we put these in here. Come on, please. Yes! But before we jump into it, the Red Magic Astra gaming tablet has a ton of extra stuff I didn't even mention. And it's honestly the best gaming tablet I've ever used. So yeah, click the link in the description if you want to check it out. And thanks again to Red Magic for keeping me entertained this whole journey. Alright, let's grab this. And let's go! Let's go, we're back at our creeper farm. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video so more people find out about the end. And also watch this video next if you want to see me travel to the world border.